All right, let's dive into Google App Engine. We've got some great material here from Google Cloud's own documentation.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to build up a solid understanding of how App Engine works. And trust me, it's a lot more elegant than you might think. No server management headaches here.
Yeah,
We're talking about building and deploying web applications and APIs at scale, with Google handling all the infrastructure magic behind the scenes.
that's right. What's really powerful about App Engine is how it empowers developers to focus on what they do best, building amazing applications without getting bogged down by infrastructure management.
Exactly. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, we need to understand how an App Engine app is structured. We've got applications, services,
Yeah.
versions, and instances. It's almost like a digital nesting doll, with each layer playing a crucial role.
I like that analogy. Think of it like building a house. You have the overall structure, the application, and within that, you have different services or rooms, each serving a specific purpose. You might have a kitchen service for handling kitchen stuff, a living room service for entertainment, and so on. This modular design makes your application more organized and manageable.
Okay, I'm seeing how the structure starts to make sense.
Okay.
But what about these versions? Where do they fit in?
Think of versions as blueprints for each room. Let's say you want to remodel your kitchen. You'd create a new version of the kitchen blueprint with updated layouts, appliances, and so on. Similarly, in App Engine, you can have multiple versions of a service. Version 1.0 might be the initial release, while version 2.0 incorporates new features and improvements.
So it's like having a history of your app's evolution, which is really useful for tracking changes and even rolling back if something goes wrong. But how does this relate to the instances you mentioned earlier?
Instances. This is where App Engine's magic truly shines. Imagine that your house is suddenly flooded with guests. You're going to need more hands to manage everything right. Well, App Engine instances are like those extra helping hands. They are the actual servers running your code. When traffic to your app spikes, App Engine automatically spins up more instances to handle the load, ensuring a smooth experience for your users. And when things quiet down, it scales back down, optimizing resource usage.
Wait, so I don't have to manually adjust anything? App Engine just takes care of all that scaling automatically?
Exactly. It's like having an invisible team that constantly monitors your house and adjusts resources based on the number of guests. That's the beauty of App Engine's auto-scaling capability. It takes the burden of infrastructure management off your shoulders.
This is already blowing my mind.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got this hierarchical structure that helps us organize our app, and App Engine handles the scaling for us automatically. But how do we actually control which version of our app is running? Is it an all-or-nothing thing?
Not at all. App Engine gives you incredibly granular control over how you deploy and manage different versions. In fact, you can split traffic between different versions, sending, say, 10% of your users to the new version, while the remaining 90% stick with the stable version.
It's like doing a soft launch of a new menu at your restaurant. You get to test the waters and gather feedback before rolling it out to everyone. That's a brilliant way to minimize risk and ensure a smooth transition for your users.
Precisely. And this kind of granular control is essential for developers, especially when releasing updates or new features. Imagine pushing a buggy update to all users at once. Disaster. Splitting traffic allows you to catch issues early and ensure a consistent experience for everyone.
Now, you mentioned control, and I'm curious just how much control do I have over the underlying environment where my app runs?
That's a great question, and this is where the choice between App Engine's standard and flexible environments comes in.
All right, let's unpack this. I have a feeling this is where things get really interesting.
Think of the standard environment as a well-equipped kitchen, with all the essential appliances you need to cook up a delicious application. It's perfect for apps that fit within those predefined parameters. You get the benefits of auto-scaling, load balancing, and a managed environment, all without having to tinker with the infrastructure.
So it's kind of like a turnkey solution for getting your app up and running quickly and efficiently.
Yeah.
But what if I have some very specific requirements, like needing a special oven that's not part of the standard kitchen setup?
That's where the flexible environment comes into play. It gives you much more control over the underlying infrastructure. You can customize the virtual machine's operating system and networking configurations to suit your app's specific needs. It's like having the freedom to design and build your own custom kitchen from scratch.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
Hmm.
But with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Exactly. While the flexible environment offers you more control, it also means you're responsible for managing more of the underlying infrastructure. You'll need to handle things like server patching, security updates, and potentially even load balancing configuration. It's a trade-off you need to consider carefully based on your team's expertise and the specific needs of your application.
So the standard environment is great for ease of use and rapid deployment, while the flexible environment offers more customization but requires more hands-on management.
Got it. Now, earlier we talked about how each app and its services have unique names. Can you tell us more about how that works and why it's important?
Absolutely. Just like every restaurant has a unique address, each app and its services in App Engine have unique names that form the foundation of their web addresses. Think of it as kitchen-service.restaurant-name.city.com. This naming convention ensures that each service is easily identifiable and accessible. It's all about maintaining order and clarity within your application ecosystem. It's like a well-organized filing system for your app, making sure everything has its place.
And speaking of organization, I'm really intrigued by the fact that App Engine keeps detailed logs of every request made to your application. Why is this so valuable for developers?
Imagine being able to track every order placed in your restaurant, down to the smallest detail. You could see which dishes are most popular, identify bottlenecks in your kitchen workflow, and even spot unusual patterns that might indicate a problem. That's essentially what App Engine's logging capabilities provide you with.
Wow, that's incredibly powerful. You can analyze these logs to gain deep insights into user behavior, optimize performance, and even diagnose and troubleshoot issues.
Precisely. And the best part is that all of this logging happens automatically behind the scenes. So you don't have to set up complex monitoring systems or write custom logging code. App Engine takes care of it all for you. It's like having a team of invisible analysts constantly crunching the numbers and providing you with valuable insights.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really struck by how App Engine manages to balance power and ease of use. It's like they've really thought about the developer experience and tried to make it as seamless as possible.
I agree. Google has done a great job of abstracting away a lot of the complexities of infrastructure management, allowing developers to focus on building and innovating. But it's not a magic bullet. You still need to design your application with scalability in mind. For instance, if your app relies heavily on a single database, it might struggle to handle a sudden traffic surge, even with more instances running.
That's a great point. It reminds me of the importance of thinking about the big picture when you're designing an application. App Engine provides the tools and the infrastructure, but ultimately it's up to the developer to build scalable and resilient applications. Absolutely, and choosing the right environment plays a crucial role in that. We've talked about the benefits of both the standard and flexible environments, but what are some of the implications for developers when making that choice?
Right, because it sounds like there are some real trade-offs to consider.
Exactly. The flexible environment with its greater control over the infrastructure might seem appealing, but it comes with added responsibilities. You need to have the expertise to manage those servers, keep them secure, and handle potential scaling challenges. It's not something to take lightly.
So for someone just starting out with App Engine, it sounds like the standard environment is the way to go. You get all the benefits of App Engine's managed platform without having to worry about the underlying infrastructure details.
I'd agree with that. The standard environment is a fantastic way to get your feet wet with App Engine. It's designed to be user-friendly, scalable, and cost-effective. And as your application grows and your needs evolve, you can always explore the flexible environment later on.
Okay, so to recap, we've covered the hierarchical structure of an App Engine app, from applications to services to versions and instances. We've seen how App Engine automatically scales to handle traffic fluctuations, how you can split traffic between different versions for testing and safe rollouts, and we've delved into the differences between the standard and flexible environments.
We've also highlighted the importance of App Engine's logging capabilities, which provide developers with a wealth of data to understand user behavior, optimize performance, and troubleshoot issues.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of Google App Engine. I feel like I've gained a much deeper understanding of how this powerful platform works.
And I hope it sparks some ideas for you on how you can leverage App Engine to build your own amazing applications.
But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. As you continue your App Engine journey, think about this. What are some of the challenges you might encounter when designing an application for a global audience? How can you leverage App Engine's features to overcome those challenges and ensure a seamless experience for users around the world?
That's a great question to ponder. It touches on the importance of thinking about scalability, latency, and data localization from the very beginning of your development process.
Exactly. Well, we encourage you to explore the links provided for a deeper dive into this fascinating world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building amazing things.